It's exciting now. We are in our fourth week of our second 28 days of weight loss. This is really an exciting night. There's so much to talk about. I'm thrilled with our guests. We have so many great things to share with you tonight, to take with you as you continue your journeys. And I have to tell you up front, we want to hear from you. Don't leave us. Keep going back to your TLS Weight Loss Solution Facebook page and keep letting us know your progress and put up those before and after pictures. We're all looking to be inspired. My name's Dennis Franks, and it has been my absolute pleasure to be with you over these last 8 weeks. And for those of you that are joining tonight and completing it, it's been a wonderful experience for myself, my family, and living the TLS lifestyle just makes you feel so good. And I guess I'm so grateful for being able to take off those unwanted pounds from the last 12 months of being sequestered, being home more than out. And so anyway, it's going to be a great night. And I'm thrilled to have my team with me, Lauren Reitinger. I got to tell you, it's good to have you. And she's the creator of not only our Motives Cosmetic line, she's been the inventor of our 28 days of weight loss, but it's following her philosophies of creating those habits, which is so very important. Andrew Weissman also is with us tonight. Melanie Nelson, our Director of Sales of TLS. Dr. Deidre Mason. She is just spectacular when it comes to our clinical research. She's working with product development and also head of our Nutrimetrics division. And we have Suzanne, and Suzanne is our Director of Training. And she has just been exemplary in her work with her field in nutrition and diet, as well as being a certified diabetes trainer. And so we're going to talk a little bit about each and every one of our takeaways over these last couple months. And we have wonderful guests tonight, Trinity Haskins, and we also have Kathy Murray. It's good to have you. And I will also say up front, we have an amazing story that due to his professional career can't be with us, but he has sent us a lot of insight and his before and afters that we'll share throughout the night. I want to just give you this quick message before we dive into it. I know we read a lot of information off of our mobile phones and we hear things in our lives and what's coming across the news lines, but I get a newspaper, and I get a newspaper once a week, and it talks about how they believe by 2030, 60% of all Americans will be obese. And it was really eye-opening for me because there are so many things going against us out there. And it really just starts with, ultra processed foods. It talks about the environment, chronic stress. It talks about all these things that just really contribute to fat deposition as far as, retaining, weight as fat. And, it just is tough. And it really takes a concerted effort. And don't get discouraged about what's out there today. Be encouraged that there are many ways to overcome that. And it's really the joy of the journey. And that's why I'm so in love with the Transitions Lifestyle System. And, weight loss isn't magic. It's just science. We talk about this over and over again. But I want to encourage each and every one of you that there are good foods and there are not so good foods. And we're not asking you to give up everything, but we're asking you to make better selections. And I hope over this time we've been together that you'll be able to pick more of those better selections. So my tip tonight, right off the get-go, is don't let the cards get stacked against you. Take the cards, put them in your hand, and deal yourself the hand of success. And you can do that with good life, good health, and vitality. I want to go over to my partner and special guest, Lauren Reitinger. She's been an inspiration for me over our times together. We've been together now 29 years, going on 30 years.
Wow, That's a long time. Wow.
You're getting younger, and me too. And so I wanted to come over to you and ask you to share a little bit of insights of your experience over the last 28 days. Actually, the 28 days. There were 7
Yeah,
weeks.
I think it's been phenomenal. I mean, it's been a real commitment. And, for us to succeed at anything, we have to commit to it. And, you've heard that over the last 8 weeks. You've heard about the dedication and the consistency. And it's never easy when you're trying to lose weight. It's not anything to, um, it's just not easy. It's never easy. We're always working hard to be our best. And sometimes, we drop off and then we get back on. And that's why the 28 days work so well, because you can get off and get back on and pick back up. And, the biggest thing about when you fall off, and you kind of get off track, all you have to do is start again. It is not hard to start again because the program actually is really simple. It's a simple program. I didn't say it was easy. I said it is simple. It's simple to follow. It is simple to eat properly and eat healthily. It's the supplements are everything. I've talked about the supplements a lot over the 8 weeks. I feel like the supplements have been life-changing for me. Just taking the products when I was off for that week period in between the 28 days. I think that's so important to understand. I think, but any program is hard, and it's hard to lose weight in a world where everybody wants to feel their best, look their best, and the world is always watching. You feel like you're being criticized. You can't win for losing. It's never easy. It's an emotional struggle. It's an emotional battle. I've watched it with my own family. My own family has struggled with weight loss their whole life. When I say my family, I'm talking about my brothers and sisters, my mom. My mom died at 42 of a heart attack, but basically caused by obesity. Not basically, it was caused by obesity. And so it's a very sensitive subject to me. It is not about, I understand the ups and downs. I understand the emotional havoc it wreaks on your brain. And we've heard Deidre and Suzanne and Melanie and Dennis talk about that for the last 8 weeks. I know what it does to your heart when you don't fit into your clothes and you don't feel your best. I know what it did to my mom when she never felt good about herself. I know what it did to her mind when she didn't feel good about herself. And so we have enjoyed being on this journey with you. And I want you to understand, I will probably be on this journey with you forever. It is not a journey that you go off. It is one of those journeys that you stay with, right? To feel your best. It doesn't mean that you won't reach your goal weight. It means you will reach your goal weight and you want to stay on a program, and you can have cheat days and bad days and go back to something that keeps you accountable. I think the greatest thing about the program is being able to have access. I've said this for the last 8 weeks, access to people like Deidre and Suzanne and Dennis and Melanie, people who will give you really a good feeling and good instruction, good knowledge, good information that will help you, that will guide you. That is the hardest thing about losing weight, because when you try to lose weight without a team, without a partner, and we are a big partner group here, right? It is really hard to succeed. It is really hard. You feel very alone. It's hard enough in your own house when you're trying to lose weight and everybody else around you is super skinny and they don't have to worry about the struggle of eating better or not eating, they're eating carbs in front of you, that's a challenge in itself, to be the only one, to be the one that's, has to do it, that wants to do it for your health. That's what's so important. And I want you to understand that we believe that you're completely enough. This is about being healthy. This is about being healthy in your heart, in your mind, understanding that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve if that's what you want to do, because it is by no means easy, but you can do it. And I have never met a more dedicated team to the 28 days. And again, why 28 days? Because you can prove to yourself you can do it. 28 days, we can accomplish so much. It's really like kicking a habit. I started out doing this with skincare, teaching people with skincare for 28 days. Dr. Deidre did it with health. I stopped smoking. November 1st. I haven't smoked since. I'll never smoke again. I am officially a non-smoker. It is a real effort to do these type of things. And trust me, the yo-yo diet and the emotional toll it can take on people, you have to feel really good. You have to reward yourself even on the smallest of wins. So we're with you. We believe in you. I'm so happy that you've taken this journey with us. I'm not done. I'm staying with you guys. Like I said before, and Dennis, you've just been incredible. You know, I love listening to you, and you're a great leader, and your love for the program and the people and your, you know, your exercises and all the things that you've done have been remarkable. So I thank you for that and your commitment to it.
Thanks, Lauren. It's it was good. I'll tell you what, it takes a team, and it's without a doubt. But I'll tell you what, it's always been exciting to hear the comments from our support team, but at the same time, learning from our guests going through the actual program. And, you know, I think it's pretty exciting when you get to meet some of these real success stories and somewhat heroes in my eyes, because they made some decisions. And the first guest we're going to talk to tonight is Trinity Haskins. And Trinity, you've been a superstar in business and you're entrepreneurial. Let me ask you something. I have to be perfectly blunt. I've known you for a few years. When did you feel that this weight loss struggle started to happen? I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, sure. Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you guys so much for, Lauren, putting on the 28 days was a huge deal for me personally. Just, the education that you all put on in your videos and your Facebook Lives and everything. Thank you all so much. And the 28 days was specifically important to me because I had to get back restarted. And that's what you just said, Lauren, is you can always start again. And I've always struggled with my weight. It is a process, right? It is a journey. Ever since I can remember, I was a little girl, my parents owned a donut shop. My mom was, she was size 24, 26 growing up, and she's had the gastric bypass surgery. And so it has always been a journey for me, always been something that I've had to deal with. I couldn't just ever be that little girl that could eat anything that she wanted. So I knew about the TLS and I have followed it and gotten success in the past with it because of the education that the system provides, right? And so I knew the basics. But I never was educated on food. And that's why I love this whole program so much, because you teach the difference between, the low glycemic eating, the difference between a baked potato versus a sweet potato. Nobody ever taught me that stuff when I grew up. And so taking the education again and restarting again, when we all get off track during quarantine, the 28 days was a win for me. And I was going to start it right after the New Year's, Dennis, right after the first go around, just like everybody else. And then, life happens and I kind of did it a little bit and then I get off track. And so when you guys did it the second time around, I was like, all right, my way's not working. I need to be teachable, coachable, and suck it up, princess. And we're going to do it the second time around. And so I'm very, very thankful. I lost when I wrote my little testimony and to you guys, it was 10 pounds today, this morning, just for you guys, it was 12. So, I didn't set any record, but 28 days, 12 pounds, that's a big deal for me. And I feel better. I sleep better. And so I'm thrilled to give you my testimony tonight.
That's beautiful. I'm so excited to hear that. But I also want you to share that you decided to make this happen when you had to take a trip and become a caregiver to your mom. It could have been such an easy excuse for you not to do it again. I mean, tell me about that. I know, because so many people have, questions about that. Yeah.
Sure. No, absolutely. And, this was my time. And so life always happens to us, agreed. And my mom had broke 2 vertebrae in her back. She still lives in Chicago and I'm in Florida. And so, made that decision to go back and help her for over 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks. And it was right when everything started. And And I was just like, you know what, this is my time. You turn lemons into lemonade. That's what I decided to do. I didn't have teenage boys and, you know, right there by me to order a pizza in front of me or anything like that. So I was like, okay, I could focus on myself. And I obviously took care of my mom, who's also, or she's, you know, had her back issues, got a number of health challenges, but she's also diabetic. And she always has high blood pressure or high blood sugar, and her levels were always like in the, you know, and I don't understand it all, but it was always very, very high, like in the 8s. But she went and got her blood sugar level tested. It was 6.1 after 2.5 weeks because she couldn't get out of the chair. She couldn't get out of, you know, she couldn't walk, you know, barely at all. And so she had to eat what I was going to feed her. And so we did it together, and her blood sugar level went way down as well. So I was really happy about that. So, but that's just it, is you just make a decision that this is your time and you do the best that you can. Life's going to happen anyway, but you have to really put yourself as a priority. And that's what I did. I didn't want to start again later and start. When are you going to start? You got to keep going. So that's what I did.
Now, let me ask you something. During those 28 days, did you have any setbacks or real, you know, temptations that you had to overcome? And if you did, how'd you do it?
Yes, I did. You know, you can't, you can't.
Why are you calling me out?
Really, I know. That's what I was thinking. So you can't go to Chicago and your mother-in-law brings you back to the airport, and the Giordano's Pizza is right there by Midway Airport. And I took my core, I limited it for a little bit. I wrote it in, I wrote it down. I was honest. I had a couple pieces of pizza. I didn't eat the crust. But you know what? You get back on tomorrow. It still works. It's a lifestyle. So that's the truth, Dennis. So yes, absolutely. There's some challenges out there, but you just move forward. You do your best.
Yeah. You look great, by the way. You
Yeah.
see it in your face everywhere. I mean, you look
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
great.
I feel great.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. I think we've all been in that situation. And I'll tell you what, the nice thing about the Transitions Lifestyle System, you hit it right on the head. You know, you didn't eat the crust, so you were aware of, you know, not depriving yourself, but you didn't take it all in, but you had enough to satisfy yourself, and you went back on. And yet from the time that we talked to you, you're down another 2 pounds. And I think that's because you're on track and your body's working for you very effectively. Is there more to your goal coming? And, you know, what's ahead? Tell us what's ahead, and, you know, for you and your lifestyle choices. Where are you going?
Oh, that's a really great question. Yes, there's more ahead, because of course there's still a little bit more to go, you know, from the quarantine and everything. But I think the biggest shift for me was what worked in my 30s, or what I thought I was doing a great job at, was not working so well for me now. And what I mean by that is, in my mind, I was doing good by just eating the cauliflower pizza, you know, or something like that, or the keto ice cream, but not eating enough. And that's what this whole 28 days program did for me, is it reminded me not only to eat the right foods, because I really did a good job probably 80% of the time, but I wasn't eating enough, and I would cram so much into like a 6-hour period and not eat after 5 o'clock, or different things in my mind that kind of snuck up on me. But the 3 meals a day and adding the 2 snacks was the biggest learn for me this time go around. I knew it, but I was reminded of that. And so just adding in those 2 snacks and keeping the metabolism going. You know, what's next is I want to keep being healthy, Dennis. I want to be strong, physically, mentally, and be healthy, because we got long lives to live. So, and I'm excited about the future.
Thanks, Trinity. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Our
That's
pleasure.
so awesome. That's one of the things that feels so cool too, when you lose like 12 pounds on it, you really feel just not bloated.
Yes.
You know, not being bloated is such a huge thing, because even if we have to lose 5 pounds or 50 pounds, being bloated is miserable. You know, and I think the TLS program really helps with that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I would like to bring something up, Suzanne, if I can direct this to you. Her mom really experienced some good results, and can you talk a little bit why the transition lifestyle system is good for reaching healthy blood sugar levels?
Okay, so definitely this is one area is my favorite topic to talk about blood sugar because I'm a certified diabetes educator. But one thing I want to add is it's interesting when people has condition, like whether it's high blood pressure or high cholesterol or high blood sugar, when they often see a health professional, they say, can you put me on that diet? Can you put me on that diet? And I said, the answer is healthy eating. There's no so-and-so diet.
Yeah.
There's no so-and-so diet. It's just healthy living, healthy eating. And this is exactly what transition lifestyle system is all about, because the way the eating, the low glycemic impact eating, right? Andrew's favorite word, protein and fiber every meal make losing weight no big deal. And the reason for that is because when you combine food that help to what we call to even out the blood sugar, you naturally in a fat burning mode. So the side effect is fat loss. And how fat loss help with people who have high blood sugar is obviously making the insulin more sensitive. That's number one. And second of all, it's also when you're feeling satisfied, like Trini was saying, you're less likely to get into that craving mode. I think it's a combination of so many things, but the easiest simple answer is the low glycemic impact eating really take into account of, yes, we can still eat carbohydrate, but how can we combine with eating a healthier carbohydrate? And when I say healthier, does that carbohydrate provide you value? When I said value, does it provide you fiber? Does it provide you mineral? Does it provide you like vitamin? That's value. I always say, if you're gonna pay for something, it better have some value, right? Women love buying brand name purse because it has value, right? The price does go up later on when you buy those brand name for a reason, because of value. So when you combine that fiber or the carbohydrates that you love and you combine that with protein, the healthy fat, the lots of vegetable, you feel full, but at the same time, you're doing something else for your blood sugar. It's even Steven. So better energy, better blood sugar control, and overall, definitely much I would say a healthier way and a long-term effect of not just weight loss, but maintaining that weight loss.
Let me ask you, Suzanne, what TLS supplement is complementary to that
Oh,
effort for the
oh,
individual?
yes. Lots of supplement, but the one that really complementary is one that Trini just said, core, right? We call it core because it is truly the core of all the products, because majority of people has two problems. They love eating. We all seriously, we all love eating. Whether we want to admit it or not, we love eating. We have big appetite. We're training into where people understand super size is the normal size, and we know super size is not the normal size. So number one is definitely the core, with the helping with the suppress your appetite. And the second within the core is helping to make your leptin more sensitive so that you get the, I guess the leptin is a hormone to let you know you're full. So when you're more sensitive, you're not likely to eat over 8 than feeling full. You're actually feeling full when you're supposed to feel full. So core, trim tea with the trim cafe, because we have wild trim, and wild trim again help with leptin resistant. And people was like, how is that not different? How is that different from core? And I love how Dr. D always say it, right? One works your brain, one works your gut, and when they work together, you got a winning combination, right? So that's really it. We have other combination too, but I think these two are really help target what most people problem is, loving carb and having a big appetite.
Thanks, Suzanne. I appreciate that. You now have brought up Dr. D, and Dr. D, I got to move to you because, chronic disease is something that accompanies, being overweight or obese. Again, can you sort of speak to that in regards how the transitions lifestyle system actually does, help in different areas?
I'm sure. I mean, here's the magic is a lot of people, and Suzanne, you alluded to this. A lot of people put extra weight into a box and they say, okay, well, that puts me at risk for heart disease. It puts me at risk for elevated blood sugar. Maybe I'm putting extra weight, burden, pressure on my joints or my knees. But really, to your point, Dennis, there are a lot of hidden issues that obesity is a primary risk factor for. When it comes to healthy sleep habits, I'm just going to talk about leptin for a minute. Leptin is a hormone that tells you or signals your body that you're full. It also signals a response to stress and healthy sleep. It doesn't just tell a hunger hormone to go down, it tells other advantageous hormones to go up. And this is something that when we have extra weight, we're not only resistant to that, we're resistant to those signals in the brain that allow our brain to have healthy brain volume. That is so critically important for healthy aging. You know, pairing up the age or the brain, we know that mental emotional decline, a sense of emotional, not just decline, but just a sense of lack of motivation is also intimately linked to people that carry extra weight. And this isn't about body shaming. There are literally chemicals involved that make you less likely to have happy hormones or happy signals. And these are some of the poor sleep, poor brain aging, concerns that we have with mental emotional decline, a lack of sense of productivity or just overall well-being, regardless of our size. And these are these like hidden diseases, hidden concerns that are so closely linked to carrying extra weight. But there's a very positive side here. We can manipulate over a very short period of time weight and start to send the right signals. You know, I often talk to people about what I want you to do to change a habit is to just start with the first 2 minutes of that habit. What does it take to get yourself engaged? Motivation doesn't come to you. You don't feel motivated to get started. You have to get started to get motivated. And you go, my shoes are on, my running pants are on. I guess we're doing this. But you guys, even if that's all you do, you've nailed it for that day, right? Because you've got yourself in the right mindset. And so that's my point is it feels like there's these hidden diseases, these hidden concerns, and yet small steps lead to enormous changes. Whether it's blood sugar, whether it's brain aging, whether it's a sense of mental well-being, whether it's the community that we've created and that social connection, that social network, all of this together through the TLS system. Protein, fiber, community, education, movement, an emphasis on mental well-being. This is the network that TLS creates for you to allow you to be able to find and pin that thing that's going to be your 2-minute solution to move into the next you.
Wow, that was great.
That's incredible.
Thanks, Tia. I appreciate that. Yes. All right. Well, let's go and meet our next guest. Suzanne, why don't you introduce our next guest for our viewers?
So I have a privilege to get to know Kathy this afternoon. We chat and we have a lot of things that we start connecting and it was great. So Kathy, I think I was telling her that her story will inspire so many people. So I guess first and foremost, when you hear a story, you were like, okay, you know, when Lauren's saying that when you look in the mirror and you actually don't like what you see, that's exactly what happened to Kathy. So Kathy, can you share how did that weight came on? At what point in your life you realize enough is enough and I need to make the decision to change my life? Can you share that, Kathy?
Absolutely. I had back-to-back surgeries. I had like neck, shoulder, carpal tunnel surgery, and I pretty much got down on myself. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I just was disgusted. So one day I was sitting there talking to my son, and my granddaughter comes on a video chat and goes, "Grandma, you're beautiful. I love you." And right there and then I was like, I got to do this. I got to do this for me, and I got to do this to be around for them. Sorry.
And you did it. You make that decision to make
Yes.
that change. And you know, it's interesting because like Trinity said, you know that you want to make that, and you almost need that decision point. It's like I walking to that crossroad and decide, are you going to go for it? Or are you going backward? And
Right.
both of you went backward, which is amazing. So I understand that since you started the TLS program, you have lost quite an amount of weight. But before we talk about your weight, can you share some of the obstacle struggle that you had to overcome, like during this program? Like maybe start with your detox that you were mentioning some progress and.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
When I started, the first week, I had lost 7 pounds. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, this is going to get great, So the second week, I got on the scale and it was only a pound. And that's the way I looked at it that moment. I'm like, wait. Then I started watching the videos like, Susan's and Melanie's. And I started thinking to myself, well, you know what? It's better than where I was at before. It was a big change. So pretty much I was like, okay, well, one thing I do now is I make sure I journal my food every day. So that way, if I feel like I had a bad week, I can go back and say, okay, did I eat enough here or did I maybe go overboard here? So, I mean, the journal is exceptional. I love it.
And this is, again, really want to highlight what makes TLS so special, because there's not a
Yes.
lot of program out there, not only provide you the education, but giving the tools for you. And we understand the importance of tracking, and users highlight the importance of tracking and helping
Yes.
you to see that you are moving forward. And with that, can you share your progress, the result that you had so far?
Well, I officially started on December 14th. And as of this past Monday, I'm down 25.5 pounds and a total of 10 inches.
Wow, that's great.
That's
Kathy.
incredible. The 10
Woo!
For you, Kathy.
amazing.
Your granddaughter is so proud of Grandma
Yes,
Kathy.
she is. We're
That's
gonna go running around when I go visit in a couple weeks.
So during this time, I know that you said there's certain food that you love, and like pasta and chips is your favorite.
Oh my God, yes.
So share with us, how did you love that pasta and chips? How did the TLS help you? Is there any particular product that you love so much that helped you to overcome your pasta and chips cravings?
Pretty much the shakes. Oh my God. There's like so many ways that I do the shakes, and the core. The core helps me to eat less. And I also, with my recipes that I make now, if I want spaghetti, I just get the zoodles. And I get some sauce with that and make some turkey meatballs. I'm ready to go. So, but yes, definitely the core and the shakes.
The shakes right there. And,
Yes.
and I understand, Kathy, I want to say that was really amazing about Kathy's success story is that not only she lost the weight, and I know she's still working on moving to hit her goal, but one thing that I thought was really phenomenal is that she wanted to become a coach to help and pay for it to help others. Like, how unbelievable is that? That the program impacts you and you want to impact others by paying it forward. So I want to say amazing for that one.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. You guys inspired me big time.
Great
you.
to have you on the team, Kath. That's
Yes.
awesome.
No better coach than one who's done it.
That's exactly right. Wow.
Yep.
That's great. That is
So,
awesome.
Kathy, one final thing, is there any advice or tips for people who are still on the fence or feeling that they got off track? What can you suggest for them to help them get back on track?
One thing you gotta do is believe in yourself. If you want something bad enough, you can do it. I mean, all the resources are there. The supplements are there. Journaling. I mean, just go to a healthy lifestyle and you're good.
There you go.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's
Thank you.
excellent.
said.
Well
Thanks,
said.
That was awesome. All right. Wow. I'm inspired without a doubt. There was one of our guests that I'm very sad that we don't have him tonight, but Melanie, can you tell us a little bit about our guest that is not here tonight?
Unfortunately, he was not able to make it due to his his career and his work schedule to be able to make it. But we did, we've been communicating for the last few days, and they did give me permission to share his story. And so I'm very excited and honored to share Bruno's story because it is really fantastic. And it is another great example, like Trinity and Kathy have been, of someone who's really incorporated all of the pillars of TLS, right? And often that is like such a massive key, right? To utilize our supplements is one thing, but to definitely be following our meal plans, to be moving our body, to be plugged into the education. You know, when I was talking to you, Kathy, you're like, I never missed a Wednesday. I always listened. I always listened on, you know, on the Facebook lives to Suzanne. And, you know, I mean, she was just plugged in, and Trinity's been doing the same. She's you know, just been an incredible journey for these ladies, and Bruno is no exception to this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here because we've got an incredible before and after that I want to share with you.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. So Bruno is a 33-year-old married with children here in Florida. He is a truck driver. And I know that many of you who are familiar with this career choices, many of them end up obese because they're sitting all day, right? And they're eating out of gas stations and fast food restaurants, et cetera. And so many of them deal with obesity. They deal with chronic disease that is been a result of that. And so Bruno had been struggling with his weight for over 5 years, and they actually really struggled to find a before picture, because one of the things his wife had told me was that she didn't have family pictures for years. He would find a way to get out of them. He did not want to be photographed. His own words was, I was self-conscious. I had low self-esteem. I would hide from everyone. And I think that that's really, I just want to just applaud Bruno for being so vulnerable and honest about that, because I think that's something that women, we often feel, and we do, but it is just as prevalent. These feelings are just as prevalent for men. And so he had tried a whole bunch of diets. None of them were sustainable. None of them worked. And once he saw TLS, he took the TLS profile, he got his meal plan. He was like, wow, I actually get to eat food. You know, like, so he was so excited about the fact that he was like, oh my gosh, I can totally do this on the road because it's not deprivation. I can eat foods and these shakes are amazing. So he made the commitment and started on our product, started on our program. So he actually started in November and lost 18 pounds, but really ramped it up in the last 2 28-day campaigns. They were really important to him and his family and some friends. And he lost another 26 pounds during our 2 28 days. So he has now lost a total of 44 pounds with TLS. So just a huge congratulations to Bruno. So here, I got to tell you guys, this is really incredible. So instead of going to truck stops to take a shower, he finds Planet Fitness, and he drives his truck in there and he's like, I got to take a shower anyway. I might as well shower at Planet Fitness. So he works out, he showers there. He doesn't go to the truck stops to do that. He's also been able to find restaurants along his routes that meal prep for him. So he's not getting these like fast food or these convenience foods. So he's really become super resourceful. And I just think there's so much dedication and commitment that he's displayed there that is so admirable. You know, he noticed an increase in energy and focus and in stamina, which he said is really important to him because he does want to be able to drive long hours. And he said the shakes are just so crucial for him because he can either eat them, of course, with, you know, he's like, sometimes his wife will prep some meals for him sometimes too, which probably includes some TLS muffins. and drink the shake. So we're just so proud of Bruno and what he's, you know, obviously leading by example with his family. His, you know, family is involved. And so it's just such an incredible story. And we will definitely feature them on another, you know, TLS live in some way, shape or form, because it's such an incredible story. So just well done, you all of our guests.
That's
Fantastic. All right,
Wow.
Bruno. well rounded out tonight. I will say that. This is sort of a special time for us right now because this is concluding our second 28-day weight loss efforts with our transitions lifestyle system. And what I'd like to do is go around to each of my partners and ask them to provide some of their insights and takeaway. And Lauren, I'd love to start with you.
Okay.
Give us a little insight over the last.
I think, as I said earlier, I think the last really 8 weeks have been a phenomenal adventure, and one that would have taken this whole village that we built of all the team and all of you who have been an incredible audience, but participants, you're components and proponents of the system. And it wouldn't happen without any of you, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without seeing all of you do it. So I think it's really about the teamwork and the effort and the consistency, and knowing that if you fall down, you can get right back up, that you have a team that's going to support you, that you can do it, you can achieve anything you want to achieve. I think now more than ever, our mental minds are starting to go cuckoo a little bit, and thank God a vaccine has come out, because soon we'll all be able to congregate together again in real life. But until then, I think this is the most incredible way for people to get together and support each other on an endeavor that, like I said before, is not easy. You just don't throw in the towel. Don't quit on yourself. Know that anything is possible. Know that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Know that we'll meet you 100% of the way. We don't ever meet anybody in the middle. Our corporate team knows that we meet people. When anybody says to me, I'll meet you halfway. No, I'll meet you all the way. You go all the way in with me, I'll go all the way in with you. That's how we are. That's who we are. And I think that's why we've been around for 30 years and have incredible products. And I'm grateful. We've been around for 29 years, nearly 30 years. And, you think you use everything and then you don't. And then you realize like, oh, well, Deidre will tell you about a few products that I need to drop in and make sure I'm using this. And Dennis will say, babe, add this one to the program. And then you add those and all of a sudden miracles happen. It really feels miraculous. And as I told Suzanne, those are our best friends. They make it easier to achieve the things that we want to do. And so I think it's so important that you pat yourself on the back, that don't worry about if you didn't hold true to it for the last 2 weeks. Like Trinity said, I love what Trinity said. She didn't do it in January, but she did it for the month afterwards. After they finished, we did the January 1st 28 days. She got on the second 28 days. And that's what it's about. Timing is never perfect for anything. Think about that. It's just not perfect for anything. Anyone who tells you, oh my God, I'm waiting for the perfect time and will be waiting for the rest of their life and make excuses about other things too. There is no perfect timing. Nobody ever wakes up and says, hey, little children, when they start to walk, don't say, hey, mom and dad, this walking thing's not for me. They get up and they walk anyway. You know what I mean? They can't say, hey, dad, I don't want to do this. Dennis's grandkids just don't say, what do they call you, Dennis?
What? Diesel.
Diesel. They don't say diesel. I tried this and I got up and I fell down and I got up and I fell down and I can't walk. I just decided I can't do this. They keep going. And for some reason, when we're younger, nothing stops us. So the point is that you can achieve anything you want to do. You have to put yourself in the right mindset. You have to make time for yourself. And that can be hard when you're in a family of people who are not on the same program as you. But stay with it. Stay with it. Do it for you. Commit the time for you. Nothing will feel better when you feel healthy again. That is the most important thing, because you are more than enough. You are beautiful as you are. It's all about how you feel on the inside, because your heart and everything else on the inside is so perfect and beautiful, and you are beautiful. So just go for it, do it. I love the last whole 8 weeks, and I know you have too. It's really been cool watching you drink the shakes and do the different things and kind of doing something. You always work out. You're in great shape, but you have been drinking the shakes with me, doing things with me. I don't know, you adding your 2 cents.
Is Dennis, you want me to speak next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is your turn. We're going around. Come on, Andrew, bring it on.
Come on back.
I just feel very fortunate. I think, obviously we've had the TLS weight management system for a number of years. And I've always known it's the most comprehensive, science-based, proven system that's available out there. To have behavior modification, proper supplementation, and eating low glycemic index And then this support system and these great leaders, with Dr. D and Dennis and Melanie and Suzanne, it's just been a phenomenal 8 weeks. And I just feel very fortunate to had maybe provide a little bit of contribution to it. But I've learned a lot myself, about what foods can do, how it impacts your quality of life, your metabolism, your overall health and well-being. I thought the sessions I learned from Melanie, that yes, I've said it several times, it makes me sound kind of smart by saying, fiber and protein with every meal makes losing weight no big deal. But it stuck with me, and it makes sense when you learn and it's simple, and these things make a big difference. So I've been saying that this is the best hour of the week, and to learn from these very inspiring individuals who had the courage enough to start and to be consistent and learn throughout the process and make progress and reach their goals or on their way to reaching their health and wellness goals. It's very, very inspiring. So I just feel very fortunate to be a small part of this. And I know it's just the beginning. And for me, I've been using the TLS, the Thermochrome V6 formula for the past couple of weeks prior to my workouts, and Dennis had recommended that. And I have felt a difference, with that. But at any rate, congratulations to all of you, and thank you for everything you guys have done, Dennis and the team. It's just been a phenomenal experience.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that. Dr. D.
It's hard to put it into words, quite frankly, because the last 8 weeks have been awesome. The 28 days we spent before that and the 28 days before that, because we have built that community that gets us, as I was saying, feeling really connected. But something happened tonight that I think is worth pointing out, which was we all seem to agree that small steps lead to huge changes. Dennis, you said it's not magic, it's math. What you actually said was it's science, and in my head I filled in it's math, right? Because we Kathy made that point where it's like, it was only 1 pound, right? And I just really want you guys to do the math on those small incremental aggregate benefits to your health, to your weight, to your energy. By just getting 1% better each day, just by putting yourself in a position to be just 1% better in the day, right? You're going to be like 40% better, 40%, 40 times who you are in energy and wellness by the end of the year. And Lauren, you said something like, you can't always play it perfect. You can't always play your best game, right? So what if you didn't do it perfect every day? Like, what if you took 6 weeks off, right? And I don't mean in a row, but like gave yourself that latitude, right? Well, here's how the numbers bear out. You'd be 10 times better, right? So Kathy, I loved what you said today about that's better than I was yesterday. Whether it's a run, whether it's a meal choice, a food choice, dedicating yourself to sleep. That is more than you gave yourself yesterday. And I want you guys to hear that. Gave yourself yesterday, right? Give yourself this gift of time, of feeling good about yourself, about making a decision, right? Allow this to be that time that you truly embrace what you want, whether it's Kathy with her grandkids, right? Whether it's the stories from Trinity and the impact she makes in her community. Obviously, the concept behind her that I think gives so much passion to people is that pay it forward mentality. But that does start with you. Lauren said that starts with you. Melanie, Suzanne, they've made that point. You're going to spend this time with yourself today, and that will pay other people back. Like I have so much that I would that I want to say thank you for. Because this really has been incredible. Because when you feel like you're making a difference, you just sleep better at night. Just quite frankly, I'm just here to say thank you, because you've all helped me sleep so much better at night. Because this is like you said, Andrew, one of the best ways I could spend an hour, right? Making sure that people are feeling really, really good about their decisions.
Well, and
Thank
thank you, Dr. Deidre, for spending that time with us, because I think it's so important that people understand. It's so darn challenging right now to even speak to a doctor, just speak to somebody who knows what they're doing, to have a conversation with people in a time that we're struggling and trying to get through it. It has been hard. I mean, we know that, right? We're a little bit more fortunate than most. I'm not gonna lie, but it is still hard. And so I'm just grateful to have somebody like you on our team who's supporting everyone. You're just incredible.
you.
Absolutely. Suzanne, how about you, my dear?
One of my missions, because my grandmother died from diabetes, and that's how I pivot and I changed to become a dietitian. I was supposed to be an interior designer. Isn't that very interesting? And I think sometimes things happen to you, and I like to say that sometimes things happen for you instead of thinking things happen to you. Because when you start thinking things that happen for you, you see opportunity to change. But when you think of things happening to you, you start to picture yourself as a victim. Rather, you are the warrior of your own story. And for those people who listen to my Mindful Monday, I like to start with letters, and I really want to end with letters again. And the letters itself, like 3 letters. One is self-awareness, self-reflection, and self-love. Self-awareness is, I think a lot of time we are aware that we need to change, but being aware that we need to change and admit that we have to change is a completely different things. And I think this whole 28 days to spearhead that, it was such a great way for people who said, yes, it's time is now. And I think if we didn't do the 28 days, people might be taking for another 28 days or maybe next year, 2022, before they make that decision. So I want to say kudos to you. You guys all make that decision. There was something in there that triggers it. Now is the time. So like anything in life, the self-awareness is so vital, because that helps us to move from thinking about it to taking action. Self-reflection is what Kathy said, look at the back, like look at how far you've gone, right? Reflect, and tracking sheet is the best. So when you ever feel like I'm not moving forward fast enough, and like Dr. D was saying, you are at least 1% more, like 1%, even half a step more, you still have a step more. So reflect and say, you did a great job. Tomorrow is another day for me to make changes to my life and to my health. So that's the self-reflection. And last but not least is self-love. I think we love our family, we love our friends, but sometimes I think as human, we tend to not love ourselves enough. And I really want to take this opportunity for everyone to say you are enough and love yourself, because like they said, if you love yourself enough, you will, or you love yourself enough, you don't want to be a burden to your next generation. You want to take care of yourself. So I hope everything ties together to always be reminded that this is not the end. It is only the beginning. In the TLS weight loss page, we will always be there to provide you education. We are a community and we're in it with you all the way, because this is what we do. This is not just a weight loss program. It is a lifestyle. It is changing your life. And we're so grateful for you to join us for the last 28 days of weight loss. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, Suzanne. I appreciate you so much. Melanie,
Yeah,
thought?
you know,
Yes.
I just want everyone who participated with us to feel, I hope you all feel incredibly proud of yourselves, that you are not holding on to those little indulgences or the cheats or the week you didn't do well, and that you just let that go completely, and that you feel incredibly proud of yourself. Because honestly, in the last year, the world has been in absolute chaos. Nothing has been, the same. Everything has been changing, and it has been a struggle for everyone. Everyone's lives have been impacted. And, one of the amazing things that we did here, I feel that, is that we took something that you can get really lost in really easily, when you go down that rabbit hole, or you just focus on, all of the things that are going on, it can be really easy to get lost in that. And I think what's been so brilliant with these 28-day campaigns that Lauren had started was, it was like, you know what? what a wonderful thing to just focus on my skin. You know? Like, I mean, literally, it was just a really refreshing thing. And so this became, you know, it just got deeper here with the weight loss and the health and the putting yourself as a priority and making that the focus so that you can chug forward in your life and make progress. Because you know, like Suzanne said, if we didn't make these, if you didn't make the choice to join us, think about how further backwards you might have gone. And so think about how much, you know, how much forward movement you made in your life. And so you should be absolutely proud of that. I want you to remember not the times you indulged or cheated. I want you to remember the times that you chose preparation over convenience. I want you to remember the times that you chose more vegetables over the junk food. I want you to remember the times you ate the shake instead of the sugar. I want you to remember the times that you chose long-term gain in your health over short-term gratitude of what it tastes like in the moment, right? Those are the things you need to remember, because those are the choices that make the difference, that made that 1 pound, Kathy, because healthy weight loss is 1 to 3 pounds a week. You're crushing it. Okay. You're crushing it, girl. You don't worry a thing. You be happy about that 1 pound, because that is 1 pound that you have, like it's gone, girl, you know? And so in TLS, we talk about how it's not how much you lose, it's how long you keep it off. And so this is really about finding that healthy weight that you can maintain so that you're not having this torturous yo-yo effect going on, which is so detrimental to our health long term. And so you guys have been everybody who's participated with us, I'm talking to everybody on Facebook, everybody on Zoom, first, second round, both. You guys be proud. I'm so glad. I'm so honored. I'm so blessed to be a part of this team. Thank you, Lauren, for being vulnerable and being a part of this journey, and really being that pay it forward. Like, hey, you know, you did something that's very unusual in weight loss. You said, hey, I'm wanting to lose weight and I'm going to do it publicly. And that is not something that most people do, right? We all start trying in private, right? we've all done it in private first, in secret first. And so your courage, your vulnerability. So I just want to say thank you, and love our TLS team, and just congratulations to everyone. This has been phenomenal.
Thanks, Melanie. I appreciate it. Well done. Well, you know what, team? I have to tell you, I've been in sales and I've been supporting people for 40 years. And I want to say this segment tonight has been absolutely over the top. It has been a true inspiration for me, who I consider to be a coach, but the coach took away a lot of learning points tonight. And I want to just push that out to everybody that will view this, because we're going to be here. The TLS Weight Loss Solution is a Facebook page that you should participate in. You should not be afraid of sharing your wins with us. You should not be afraid of sharing your recipes with us. And you should not be afraid in even putting out there your setbacks, because we will step up and give you that support. I did want you to know that I had to write something down because I felt I felt like I had to give something too, because I've heard everybody give everything. By the way, Lauren, I want you to know, from the original 28 days of skincare, I now use all the Lumiere de Vie homes for men.
Yeah, baby.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah, baby. That skin is looking good. That's what matters.
They look great in my shower and on my counters.
They do. They're gorgeous.
Yes. Andrew and Lauren, if you didn't know, they work out together. They're workout buddies. And I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with the consistency you had. So here's what I want to give to the people that are listening from Dennis. So Dennis wants you to take life seriously. That's the first thing you need to know. We talk about high blood pressure as the silent killer. No, those unwanted pounds that just keep adding up over the years that really don't affect you. You're still jolly and you're still happy, but I got to tell you, they're sneaking up on you. And I want you to take this seriously. Don't wait till it's too much. Now, I may look like not the skinniest guy, but I've taken off over 60 pounds and kept it now for over 20 years because of the lifestyle. And it's been important to me. And, you know, when I put that out to you, I want you to embrace the transitions lifestyle. The TLS weight loss solution works. And if you move from the TLS weight loss solution to the TLS lifestyle, you will succeed for a lifetime. And you know what? We used to talk about supplementation as a luxury. Today, supplementation is a must. Your body can work better. You know, I don't buy it. You know, I don't buy it at all when somebody says, oh, supplements don't work, they're not important. I'm going to tell you what, those people are so wrong. And I'll tell you what, if you're going on the TLS weight loss solution, leverage the science to make your body work better. Don't be stupid. All right. I just want you to know that. All right. So take the supplements. Then always remember, move your mass. Okay. It's very, very important. I don't care if it's just standing up every 20 or 30 minutes from the desk, walking from one side to the other, get parked out further or walk a little further, whatever it is, keep moving it. That's important for you. And I want you to have fun. And there's one other thing. Associate with like-minded people. If you're going to put yourself with people that do everything incorrectly for a healthy lifestyle, maybe it's time you choose a better crowd to hang with. And I just want to end with, I love my team. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much, Trinity, for joining us. And Bruno, good job wherever you're driving across the country. Thank you all. And we look forward to seeing you soon. World Conference, if you're in our team. All right. Let's see you.
Coming up. Thank you, guys.
All right. Good night.
Good night.